Station to go, baby! Viewtiful Joe.
Alright, welcome back to Hapes Games, and today I'm reviewing Viewtiful Joe, one of my favourite games from the 6th generation of consoles. The game first came out on the glorious purple GameCube, and then after that it was ported to the PS2. Both versions were created by a game company called Clover Studios. They were like a vastly underrated game studio. Originally published by Capcom, they made another absolute misunderstood classic called God Hand, which I've streamed previously from start to finish. Absolutely love that game. Fuck you IGN, by the way, and your bullshit review. You're practically the reason why Clover Studios closed down. Anyway, a good story in the end. Most of the guys from Clover Studios ended up starting up Platinum Games, which, you know, they've made such great games such as Bayonetta series, which I absolutely love as well. Third game coming out this year. Hyped for that as well, by the way. Just a brief note on today's footage, just point out PAL PS2 port running at 60Hz, and look, straight away you can see how smooth the game feels in motion, and I absolutely love those cell shaded style graphics. They just hold up so well even now. Right, anyway, on to Viewtiful Joe itself. What is it? Viewtiful Joe is a 2.5D side-scroller action platformer as well, with various boss fights and puzzle elements built into each stage. Every stage is kind of broken up into segments, and you're graded at the end of each segment, which add up to a final grading at the end. I kind of personally love this about it, because it adds such replay value to each levels, so you kind of go back, try and maximize your results, and then kind of really push for an S-class. I really love the variance in the stage design as well. Like, it's got like castle levels, street levels, sewer levels, underwater levels, submarine levels, you name it, it's got it all here. Specifically on the PS2 version, to note, there's 3 difficulty settings: easy, normal, hard, and yes, I'm playing on normal for anyone who controls me in the comments. There's more settings are unlocked after beating the game, and in the PS2 version in particular, it's got like an unlockable Dante from Devil May Cry, which is really cool, but I'll save that for spoilers, because you need to beat the game really to unlock it, and it's really worth beating the game to see it. What I found odd, and when I compared the GameCube version, because I have both, they have default difficulty settings on the GameCube version, and it's called Kids Adults. It doesn't have easy, normal, hard. I don't know why Clover Studios changed the naming convention for the PS2 one, but anyway. Onto the gameplay itself. So Joe's controlled using the left analog stick to move left or right, tap X to jump, or double tap X to double jump. And then there's also these VFX powers, which use the VFX gauge, which is underneath the life bar there, if you can see it, and that drains down as you use those powers, and they're just really, really fun to use. There's 3 main powers. There's max speed, where Joe punches and kicks enemies at like really, really fast lightning speed. If you keep using it in quick succession, he kind of lights on fire, and then like any of the enemies who touch him, they take damage. The second VFX attack is called slow, so it puts him into a slow-mo, and you can easily dodge enemy attacks and then put in some powerful counter attacks of kicks and punches of your own. And it's also kind of molded into some of the boss fights. For argument's sake, if you slow down time, in this particular instance, the helicopter drops. And then the last one then is kind of a close-up Joe, which kind of zooms in and it lets him pull off these absolute mad attacks. And these can be combined also, so you can combine 2. So for one example, if you use close-up Joe with the right analog stick, and at the same time you hit L1, you can slow down, and then you can do some really fun attacks. As you're playing as well and you're fighting multiple enemies, it builds up an attack multiplier, which kind of gives Joe Viewtiful points or V points to spend, and then you can spend them between the stages to power up Joe, give him more health, give him new attacks. Just a note on the VFX moves as well, it incorporates them into puzzles too. So in this case here, I'm using max speed to bring up and rise the platform so I can jump over here to get past this segment, and it does a lot of that in the game. In this part here, for instance, you need to zoom in as Joe and then slow down, and then you need to do a special attack until you get the 2 lights and kick open the door. So again, incorporated into all the puzzles, which I really, really like as well. So plenty of variety in the gameplay, not just a simple side scroll and beat 'em up. So if I was to sell this to somebody who never has played it before, look, the combat is so satisfying. It provides plenty of variety and combinations, especially with the attack multiplier, the grading system, as I mentioned. There's tons of replay value, and if you compare it to a standard side-scrolling beat 'em up, there's nothing like it really. Even now, if I can think about it, boss fights are great too, so they offer like plenty of variety. You have to learn attack patterns, which I like. And you need to use the right V powers and the right moments to kind of expose boss weaknesses as well, which is pretty cool. Anyway, my overall thoughts about Viewtiful Joe are this. A fantastic side-scrolling beat 'em up, holds the test of time, graphically and gameplay-wise. And it's such a shame we're not going to see any sequel by the looks of it. There is a Viewtiful Joe 2, by the way, which I will cover on the channel in the future. It's a direct follow-up to this. There's also some DS games as well, but a great series, a fantastic showcase for the PS2 and the GameCube when these games launched. And look, you never know, maybe we might see something in the future. I'm definitely actually want to stream this. I'm actually haggling between resuming Urban Rain tonight or actually kicking off Viewtiful Joe. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a combination tonight. We'll see how things go. Guys, if you like this kind of a review, like this kind of a breakdown, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you played Viewtiful Joe? What do you think of the series? And if you've not, what do you do? And you can pick it up fairly reasonable, I think, on PS2. Go get playing it. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and supporting me, and I'll chat to you in the next video.